Hey guys, how's it going? So a couple months ago I did initial review of the BB6 9mm pistol, and I told you guys when I did that video this was kind of just a part one because there's so many interesting things about this pistol I really like. I was going to need to do two videos. Well, today I'm going to go over some of the really interesting things both externally and internally on this pistol, and I'm also going to add a little bit more information that I've now received since I did that first review. But don't go anywhere because I have a very special guest in this video. I'm actually lucky enough to have footage that was provided to me by Wilhelm Bubits himself. From what I know, this is exclusive footage you're not going to see anywhere else, and he was kind enough to give me permission to actually use this footage in this video. So you're going to get to see the designer and inventor of this pistol, and quite frankly probably one of the smartest and most influential modern firearms designers that we have today. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'd like to thank my friend Fernando for putting me in touch with some of this information from Wilhelm Bubits, and thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. And Mr. Bubits, thank you so much for just being really cool to the firearms community here in America, providing inside information that I certainly enjoyed, and I think all of my viewers are going to as well. So, alright guys, the BB6, let's get on with it. I'm going to show you guys some more really cool stuff with this pistol here today. So, alright, I already did a video on this covering a lot of the basics, okay? So if you haven't seen that yet, I'm going to put the link to the first video down there in the description. And right off the bat, I told you guys when I first did the video, I didn't have much information on this pistol at all. And since then, like I always say, you guys are the greatest. Some of the viewers of my channel came back, gave me information, put me in touch with direct information from Bubits himself. Also the importer, Foxtrot Lima, Francis, the owner there. I spoke to him on the phone several times about this pistol. He was nice enough to provide information for me. So if you're watching this, thank you, Francis. Shout out to Foxtrot Lima. And I'm going to have another really cool product that he imported in an upcoming video very soon. So stay tuned to that too. So the BB6. Yes, indeed, the company BB6 is out of business. Just like I was guessing in the first video, but I've now completely confirmed. These pistols are no more. And they're actually quite uncommon. There was only a couple hundred of them brought into the United States, including this one here. These have been available from Foxtrot Lima through Classic Firearms. As of the time I'm recording this video, they're somehow still available today. So just letting you guys know. They may sell out if you're watching this later. But only a couple hundred of these ever brought in, making these rather uncommon pistols. But yet one of the most interesting pistols that I've ever seen. And I'm going to show you guys some of the reasons why. So, I already discussed much of the cosmetics and the ergonomics and the function of the pistol in the previous video, so I'm going to kind of pick up from where I left off. So, the actual action of this pistol. A lot of you guys are familiar with the modified Browning action, and I'm going to use this Glock as a reference. When the slide comes to the rear, the barrel slightly tilts upward, and it cams on the hood of the barrel here on the front. And that's where the lockup of the pistol occurs, right? And this is pretty familiar. Like Browning, yeah, he was kind of a big deal. And many firearms designers and inventors still use his design today. So we can see that. Well, this BB6 is kind of like the Browning design. But as you're going to see Mr. Bubits describe here in a little bit, this is actually kind of a hybrid Bubits Browning design. Because when this slide goes back, the barrel only tilts up just a slight bit. Actually, if you compare it to the Glock, the barrel rises up about 30% less than the Glock, and it's quite evident just by looking at it right here. I'm going to try to get these pistols level, and you can definitely see the Glock is angling much more. And the reason is, whereas the Glock locks up on this portion of the actual hood of the barrel or the chamber area, the Bubits pistol actually locks up on this little ledge that is at the very rear. You can see that ledge that's sticking up right there. Now, what does that do? Well, If you have more mass of the barrel moving a greater distance, you're going to get more felt recoil and therefore a little bit slower reacquisition of aim and follow-up shots. So that's one of the reasons why this pistol is such light recoiling, very, very controllable. And in my opinion, and I'm going to compare this to the Glock a few times today, guys. I'm a big Glock fan. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Mr. Bubits actually worked with Glock. So I'm sure he has nothing bad to say about Glock. But I'm going to show you guys some things that, in my opinion, make this BB6 probably a better design than the Glock itself, taking nothing away from the Glock. Just keep that in mind. I'm a big Glock fan. And this would be one of the first things. The very, very slight movement of the barrel as compared to the Glock. A full 30% left, and trust me, I've shot this pistol, guys. Shooting footage is coming soon. Sometimes stuff happens. I had a problem with a corrupted file on the card, or I would have already had shooting footage out. But I have shot this pistol, and definitely one of the most controllable, lightest recoiling pistols in 9mm that I've ever shot. Like, it's really crazy to describe. But no doubt, this locking mechanism, this Bubits Browning action, is definitely part of the key to that. Now, let's look a little bit further in the slide area. This is where it even gets more cool. So with any pistol, we're always worried about dirt and debris getting into the firearm. And with this being designed for duty, police use, etc., Bubits had some ideas that I think were really quite genius on this. Now, your typical Glock, if you will, modified Browning action, has an opening in the top of the slide, and that's what allows it to interface and lock up, as well as the opening where the ejection part would be. Pretty standard. We've seen 100 guns that are kind of sort of like this, right? That's not the case with the Bubits. If you look, the slide goes straight across, not only adding more rigidity and more structure to it, but also there's a large area here now where debris is just simply not going to be able to get in, which is really nice, actually. Now, let's take another note here. When we look at a Glock, we see that we have a smooth side here, where if debris were to be in the ejection port area, it might be able to kind of wipe itself a little bit here, but it could also get caught in this extractor area very easily. This is something where, and I don't think this was by mistake, where Bubits designed another really nice feature. If you notice here, there's a cutout, a lightning cut, like a milling here. And what this is going to do is, not only do we not have an extractor here, okay, this has an internal extractor, so there's no moving parts that are going to interface with the outside environment, like you have with the Glock and most other pistols, so we're all sealed up here. But if a little bit of dirt and debris were to get in here, it would actually give a place for it to settle in, if you will, and allow like a few granules of sand or dirt or something small to just kind of sit in this little pocket and not actually interfere with the action of the pistol. So there's some really cool things going on here, and you're already noticing a huge difference, right? With the non-exposed extractor, the completely monolithic upper slide without the window cut in it, like with most Browning action style pistols. See what I'm saying, guys? I told you there's some really cool stuff with this, and if you can't tell, I really like this pistol. If I could afford it, I'd probably buy all of them they have. Like, that's how much I like it. But alright, very smooth. I can't emphasize how smooth and how precision this slide is. It just feels like it's on ball bearings. There's nothing dragging, nothing grinding. Polymer 80s are nice, but just clearly, hear the difference? Yeah, hoping the microphone can pick that up, but this thing's literally smooth. It feels like a nice snap-on toolbox when you just pull the drawers out and they're on ball bearings. You mechanic guys know what I'm talking about, so that's another great thing. Now, let's look at something else. And this could be probably argued both ways. Some people would say, well, looser tolerances are a little better because it could let debris out. True, but it could let debris in, so I'll let you guys decide. But let's take a look at the Glock here. I'm going to get my little pocket flashlight here. Now, as you know, the slide to frame fitment, there's quite the gaps in a Glock. So let's just take this light, and you're going to see right here. Large openings, whereas I pass the light across, you can see right through it. In fact, I'm not even kidding. I'm squinting through here and I can literally see myself on camera through this. So lots of open space here, right? Well, this is another area where the Bubits pistol is definitely different. On the BB6, I'm putting the light right up against the seam, okay? Right up against the seam. I see a teeny bit, just a teeny bit in the dust cover when I angle it in a certain way. But you're going to find all the way back here on the action portion. See, the light's still on, guys. I'm not joking. Nothing. So you have a much more sealed system in the action part of the pistol here, with just a little bit of daylight in the dust cover. But if you look at how these pistols actually work, that's not as big of a deal because this part gets open every single time the action cycles anyway. So the actual fitment here, the way this actually recesses and fits with the frame, the slide fitment, I think that's another plus. But I'll let you guys decide. Again, this is not to take anything away from Glock's design, but just to let you guys know that this pistol truly is not just another Glock. It's not another Steyr, which Steyr is another one of Wilhelm's inventions. But it's actually its own thing. And here's where we're going to really get interesting here. I'm going to take the slide off and I'm going to show you guys some of the really cool stuff inside, my opinion on it. Now we're just going to basically rack it back about 1/4 of an inch or so. There's two little tabs here. You push down and I'm going to go just slightly forward, up and off. Okay. All right, let's take a look inside the pistol first of all. All right. We're going to notice everything in here is very clean. The machining, both on the molding of the polymer as well as the steel areas. We have a very high polished and smooth stainless ejector here, which feels very nice. All of our trigger components here, our trigger transfer bar, all this stuff is just very well polished, very nicely machined. We have a very large rail section here that comes up with your 2 contact points on each side. This is also very nice. In the back here, we have steel that makes the actual contact on our rear rails here. Yeah, the fit and finish, again, it's really cool. Now, let's take a look at what actually, instead of the Glock Takedown, which is like a thin blade, we're going to actually see more of a cylinder, like a big sphere that comes up. This is a rather large piece of steel. Let's see if you can see me moving that in and out, which is a very nice positive lockup there. So that's basically going to keep your slide from going forward off the pistol, right? Yeah, definitely liking what I see inside of here. Everything's just so smooth. There's no burrs, there's no roughness. Like, now these are being sold right now for like $289, but just keep in mind that's because this company has gone out of business. Foxtrot Lima, you know, acquired a lot of these pistols that were available, and they're being basically blown out as a blowout price due to whatever reason. Not because the pistol's not good. The company just, you know, didn't keep going on, so that's why we're getting them so cheap. So when we're looking at this, don't really think $300 pistol. Probably a $500 to $600 pistol is actually what these would have retailed for, and I can see why. All right, let's go ahead and take a look inside. And don't forget, in just a few minutes, you're going to see Wilhelm Bubits himself actually show you guys the inside of this. And isn't this pretty cool? You guys will see in a minute. Like, who has the inventor of the firearm and the designer on the video? I'm so excited he was willing to share with us, guys. He wasn't just sharing with me, he was sharing with all of you. So I'm going to call this a Glock style recoil spring, really, quite frankly. Steyr, M series, you know, not a whole lot going on here. I would note it's like the Steyr though, where there is the little flat spot. So pay attention to this when you're reassembling it. I don't know how much it really matters, but there is a little flat area on the bottom right here that is supposed to line up on the bottom portion of your barrel. So, and if you have a Steyr M series, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to pull the barrel out of here. Very nice barrel. These have a very nice finish on them too, with the diamond-like coating. basically a type of nitride process, if you will. Let's take a look at the barrel. Look at that nice crown. Crown on the barrel to maintain accuracy. If for whatever reason the outside were nicked, this recessed crown is going to help protect your rifling there. So that's another big plus. A much nicer crown than you would see, you know, on a Glock, quite frankly. Let's see if we can get it to focus there. Alright. The machining on the barrel, yeah, quite frankly, impeccable. Nice looking feed ramp, and you can already see the carbon on my fingers because I have shot this pistol. Boy, did I enjoy shooting it too. I can't wait to get back out to the range. The snow is going to be melting soon, guys, and just show you how nice it truly is. Now, here's a couple other really cool features of this firearm. Alright, we have our slide. And this has a few things that may exist in other firearms, but quite frankly, I've been around a lot of guns in my life, and I've never seen them before. So, in the front area, I think Mr. Bubits is going to call this a bushing. I call it a recoil lug, whatever. Whereas most firearms, such as this Glock, it is built into the slide. Okay? This is actually a replaceable part. This whole front lug here, and it's held in by 2 roll pins, one on each side. So there's one there. There's one there. Which means that this is actually a user replaceable part. Now it takes many rounds, but there's documented cases of Glocks that have, say, 50,000 rounds or more, where they actually do eventually wear off this recoil lug or bushing portion of the slide. User replaceable. Now, with this company being out of business, I anticipate there's not any of these parts available, but I'm mainly just talking about the design here, and in my opinion, how far ahead of his time Bubits was with this, and he still is today. And by the way, guys, don't worry about Wilhelm Bubits. He's doing just fine. He's still working as a firearms designer and inventor like he always has, and he actually has some really exciting designs that he's working on that hopefully we're going to see here in the United States very soon. So, yes, this pistol is no longer being made, but Bubits is doing great, and don't worry about him. He's doing good. So, but yeah, a user replaceable or gunsmith replaceable, whatever you want to say, front recoil lug. It's just crazy. Now let's look at the lug itself compared to this Glock 19. Substantially larger, substantially more broad, especially when it comes down around the recoil spring and guide rod area. Substantially more. And this is where this really starts to remind me of a Steyr. If you've ever had a Steyr M series, there's much more steel in this area than there is a Glock, which I think is definitely a good thing. Makes these pistols where they're kind of built like a tank, right? So, user replaceable front bushing or recoil lug. Totally awesome. Now, here's where it even gets more cool, guys. Okay, so here's basically your breech block area. You can see where the striker comes through. This is kind of where the magic happens, right? Where the round gets pressed up into the chamber of the barrel. The striker comes through. We can see our internal extractor here. Let me see if I can get that on the right angle. You can see the extractor just poking out there. Alright. This is also user replaceable. So this has a replaceable breech block that is also held in by a roll pin here up top and another roll pin there. So we can literally at this point, or an armorer or gunsmith or whoever could replace the breech block, can replace the recoil lug or the bushing, barrel bushing, whatever you want to call it. And it kind of even gets more cool, guys, because this whole striker assembly is basically held in by 2 polymer pillow blocks for a nice anti-friction surface that the striker itself actually runs down. Here's your drop safety right here. And this all comes out as one modular pack. And of course your rear cover is going to come off too. So you can literally take this slide down, unlike any other modern pistol I've ever seen. You can start from the back, take this off. You can take the whole striker assembly out. You can take out the breech block here. and the recoil lug or front bushing out, and you're literally going to end up with just a hollow trough down to a strip slide. So almost anything can go wrong with this slide in theory, and he designed it where you could replace everything on it. Now how awesome is that? People that don't want to have to buy a whole new slide, which sometimes costs as much as the pistol, or in some states where guns get grandfathered in and you just can't buy them anymore. This pistol is or was, I should say, unfortunately, way ahead of its time. Like, this is awesome for gun geeks like me, you know, and many of you guys. What do you guys think? Totally cool. The front sight comes off a lot like a Glock, where there's a little Torx bit under there that you could unscrew it and replace the front sight. The rear sights, totally other topic, and I'm going to do another video later on just on those, so this video doesn't go too terribly long, but definitely a modular sighting system that comes with this quick acquisition sight that I've been using this whole time, and I truly love. Very Caracol-ish, which, by the way, Wilhelm Bubits, also the main designer of the Caracol. I told you this guy's a pretty big deal, didn't I? And we're going to have another video coming up very soon where I'm going to have him actually explain to you guys how these sights work too. So definitely stay tuned if there's some BB6 fans out there. More videos on this pistol definitely to come. But I mean, he thought of everything. This stainless steel striker is completely polished, just immaculately. It's like a mirror. He even put in these two little pillow blocks, I'm going to call them, that sandwich it in. It even has like the molding where it only contacts it in a couple places for a very smooth action of the striker, which makes it where this trigger has like no grittiness whatsoever to it. The trigger has a couple pounds to it like you would kind of want in a duty trigger, but it's very smooth. And I'm sure the design is different, but it kind of sort of reminds me yet again back to like a Steyr M series where the trigger pull is very nice, but it's not a hair trigger. And everything is so just smooth in here the way this works, the way this goes up against the polymer. Now if you think about it, most slides, the way they work is this is all steel in here, right? And there's the striker channel. It's a sphere that's cut out, and then there's a polymer liner, because normally it's nice to have polymer, you know, there as like a kind of a lubrous type finish where the striker can move back and forth and reciprocate. No, he didn't do that here. This is not all steel. This whole assembly is going to come out. Now, you're not supposed to do this yourself. If you do, it's at your own risk. I'm assuming there's no way to get a warranty on these anymore since the company's out of business. But even when they were in business, it would void your warranty if you went in and did this. But I don't have to do it for you, because in about 2 seconds here, you're going to see Mr. Bubits actually take this apart and show you guys how this works. So I just wanted to give you guys my opinion on it. I've definitely not covered everything with this firearm yet. I'm definitely going to have a shooting review. I'm going to come down here as I put this back together, and there's a square. It's hard for the camera to focus, but there's a little squared off portion here, just like your Steyr M series if you're familiar. And in theory, that's where you should be interfacing it to the actual recoil lug here of the bottom of the barrel. And you know when you got it right, you can see instead of it being round, this is very Steyr-ish here. It's kind of an oval square. If it's facing north and south, you've got it in right. If it's facing east to west, you probably don't have it squared up right. I don't know how much it really matters, but that's how I like to put my BB6 as well as my Steyr, you know, M series. In my case, I have an original M9 back together. So yeah, this is so cool. Totally modular sighting system. Machining's impeccable on this. The finish is awesome. I love the crown on the barrel. I love the fact that we have a replaceable bushing, okay, on the front here, or recoil lug. Replaceable breech block. Are you kidding me? Of course the end plate comes off like most pistols, and then this whole striker assembly, if you will, just comes out like in one unit. Several pieces in there, but you can get this down to just a complete U-shaped strip slide like it's nothing, and all of these would be replaced. And I really wish this design hadn't gone under necessarily, but I think there's a new pistol coming out soon. Not quite available yet. There's actually going to incorporate many of these designs, and as soon as I can get my hands on it, I'm definitely going to be showing you guys, because there's some cool stuff coming out. So yeah, right back on. You don't have to slide this slide all the way off and on, guys. It's just a little bit back. Alright, without further ado, the inventor himself. He's a really nice guy. He actually took the time to record the footage you're about to see for all of us, just to help us out. He has nothing to gain by it. This company's already gone out of business. I get the sense that he just really appreciates the fact that there's Americans that really like his design, and I'm one of them. I know a lot of you guys are. And one more time, I'd like to thank my friend Fernando for supporting the channel, being a friend of the channel, and somehow knows Wilhelm Bubits and was able to coordinate where I could get the video. And thanks again. Thanks again, William. I really appreciate it. I really like your design. A lot of us like what you're doing. I'm a big Steyr fan. I'm a big fan of this pistol, and I just appreciate you reaching out, because I know you don't have to, but there's not a lot of information on these pistols in the United States, and some of the information you're giving us and I'm going to relay on to my viewers is really much appreciated. So hopefully you're watching this video, and hopefully for the rest of you guys, you appreciate the info I gave you. And without further ado, here is the inventor of this pistol himself.
Hi, I'm Wilhelm Bubits, the designer of this BB6 pistol, and today I want to give you some useful information about this gun. First of all, the appearance. Maybe you realized that the pistol doesn't have any slots between the slide and the grip frame. Even there is no slot visible, a slot for the slide stop lever. The slide stop lever itself is embedded. As well, if you compare it with other pistols, there is no hole in the rear. It's total closed. The same, there is no hole for the extractor visible. And unique is the mechanism. It called, I would say, locking mechanism or locking breech mechanism. It is the slide is closed on top. You know, all the dropping systems are called Browning. Browning, then the other one, Peters, Sig. So I would call this is Browning Bubits. It's a dropping system, but the locking is not here in the window or here, like Browning. The locking is here in the rear. Let's see. Where is the advantage? First of all, the stability of the slide is more because the outcut is not here. But more important is that the barrel drops 30% less than a normal Browning Peters Sig. So 30% less. You see it here, the angle is almost nothing. And where is the advantage? Easier feeding, easier ejection. So, maybe you have read it in the owner's manual. No need to, if you want to do a field stripping, you remove the slide total from the grip frame, just a 1/4 of an inch, and lift the slide, and then that's it. Maybe you are interested how the slide looks inside. So, because according to the owner's manual, you lose your warranty if you do more than the field stripping. So I do it for you now. There is a barrel bushing inserted in the front. The breech face is inserted here, both steel parts, and a synthetic firing pin unit construction here, and a synthetic slide cap. So now, how to do this? You push, remove the slide cap, and be careful. The thumb should prevent that the spring jumps out. And now you remove the whole firing pin unit construction, and the slide is empty. So the firing pin unit construction consists of 2 parts. Here's the striker. It's a unique shape of the striker. It's conical, so it really should not break, because critical it could be if you have a cylinder-shaped peak, but this is conical and at stamped part. So the striker is running on 2 pillars, so there is not a total friction to the striker, from the striker to the firing pin unit. And here is the firing pin safety with the spring to the firing pin safety. So then bring the parts together again. You see? Now we take the spring, slide cap, so okay, should work now. Yeah, just one additional advice on the barrel. Here a V shape is visible. This V shape keeps the plate of the rod recoil spring in place. So it cannot happen that you bring the system in such a position or such. If you push down, you have automatically centered the rod like this. You see? I push down, it's automatically centered because of the V shape of the barrel. Thank you for your attention and have fun with the BB6. Take care.
Alright, now that was really cool, guys. Like I said, I'm not done with this pistol yet, okay? Shooting video coming up. Not only from me, but I have some more behind the scenes footage from Bubits himself. We're also going to go over magazine compatibility, guys, in another video. Yes, the BB6 mags work. Will the Caracol mags work? I'll do a video and let you guys know. Will the Steyr M series magazines work? I'm going to do a video talking about that. For now, though, until the videos come out, let's just say go with the BB6 mags, the ones that came with it. You're going to be good. Can you maybe modify other mags to work? We'll talk about that later, but I'm just going to say, as of right now, only the BB6 mags work with the BB6. So, use the mags you've got, but we're going to explore other options later. But yeah, more footage definitely coming. We're going to talk about the sights more in another video. And, like I said, more behind the scenes footage from Bubits himself. He's been very gracious, and I really appreciate it. And I really also want to thank Francis from Foxtrot Lima one more time. He's the one that gave me some behind the scenes information. Let me know that indeed only a couple hundred of these were ever imported. When these are gone, they're gone, guys. You'll never see these again. Now, you'll still see it on my channel. I'm probably going to always keep this pistol. I actually bought a couple of them, to be honest. But you'll still see it here. But if you want one of these, might be your last chance. And I don't care if you guys buy one or not. I'm not affiliated with any of these people. I don't get any kickbacks. I'm just letting you know. Foxtrot Lima was able to source a few of these, and that's about it. So, yeah, this pistol is so nice. And I'm kind of sad that it's not being made anymore. I really am. But I'm kind of eager, too, to see what some of Bubits' new designs are going to be. And look, guys, I'm going to show you just from the front angle here, completely safely. Look at the front of that. Look at that big recoil lug or bushing in the front. That nice crown. There was a lot of attention and detail that went into this for it being a polymer duty style pistol. So yeah, if you can't tell, I've been kind of smiling this whole video. The more I've learned about this pistol, the more I like it. I appreciate all you guys talking about it, getting my interest in it up. And like I said, I was able to establish some good connections through friends of the channel, and you guys are always awesome. I just love hanging out with you guys. And if you learned something today, that's totally cool. If you just had fun hanging out, even better. Alright, guys. More on this pistol. More on this Glock. Steyr M9. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comments. See if anyone's still watching this late in the video. I have the original old school M9, the pre-A1, one of the very first that ever came to the United States. So if you guys want more on that, if you want to see more of the Bubits designs, let me know. Let me know if you want to see that style, because that's another one I really like. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and have a good one.